Welcome, welcome, welcome to the return of the Ancilla Coterie for Philly by Night. We've had a nice long break for the holidays, and some of the funniest things have happened while we were gone, but we're glad to have you back. And we are all ready to jump into yet another vampire story. When last we left our Ancilla, we were in the basement of the Benjamin Franklin house, investigating some curious sarcophagi. Now that we have returned from our break, we are going to be going back to the very same night, our Ancilla standing before these strange stone sarcophagi. And the question becomes, why have these founding fathers been embraced, and why are they in torpor beneath the city of brotherly love? We are going to jump right back into where we left off with our coterie. Gang, you are in that subterranean chamber, staring ahead at these stone sarcophagi, looking from each of the faces of the founding fathers. We are going to start things off with our dear Tremere. Oracle Leclerc, what is it that you are going to what is it that you're going to do tonight?
That's so valid, bestie.
Internally.
The correct response.
Yeah.
It is, after screaming internally, very carefully looking at everybody. We're not gonna wake any of them up. We're gonna leave them there. We're gonna detail. This is now a crime scene, everybody. So that we are gathering information and cataloging anything that might be of note.
Are we sure this is a crime scene and not just
what,
the newest?
What she said.
The newest form of Hamilton.
What is this Hamilton?
Oh, it's a musical. You're going to love it. I should. Anyway, we'll deal with that later.
Isn't Hamilton face here? Wasn't he one of them?
Yeah, it's that redhead.
He was the Ventru.
Cyrene will gesture to the Ventru coffin where Hamilton is.
Gestures to the redheaded Ventru. Yeah.
So we found him.
Question. You have the ability to test the validity of these, correct? They are.
You mean take their blood and make sure that
they are who they say they are and their oldest they say they are, and not some trick by Burke in them? I don't know what the point of it would be, but they did make gargoyles. I would imagine making facsimiles of people wouldn't be too hard to do. I don't see the point of it, but it seems prudent.
I mean, that sounds like something that would be done during the crime scene investigation. Right?
So I can't. Can you? And she'll gesture to. Has Hawk told us that he's now going by Hawk?
No, he still does Zero.
Okay, then she will gesture to Zero. Can you, do the put other people's fluids in your mouth and.
He makes a face.
Fluid.
He makes a face and then thinks better of saying what he's about to say and then goes, "No, I cannot."
Okay, we're going to have to work on that apparently.
Wait. Neither of our Tremere here can do taste of blood or walk the blood. You both fail. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, technically not a Tremere. Go fuck yourself.
Okay.
How is it
Cyrene
that
will look
both
kind of
of our
sheepish.
blood sorcerers can't do taste of blood or blood walk?
I'm
That
writing a
seems so
formal
weird.
complaint to
Backstory.
the region.
We need to talk with Islington.
So no subterfuge, no blood. Okay.
I can lie. All of you.
Remedial blood sorcery is
So,
failing us.
and to confirm, the Salubri coffin had nothing, and the Bruja coffin was also empty, but had a mage symbol inside of it.
Yeah, Zero,
Correct.
Zero
Correct.
walks up to the Bruja thing and just stares at it for a long time and just goes, "This is bad."
Cyrene, while this is all going on,
Yeah.
can you go ahead and give me a composure and resolve, please?
Oh, someone's about to
While you're,
I
experience.
don't want to.
that's too bad.
That's too
While
bad,
you're,
buddy.
while you're doing that, Finnegan,
Mm.
is there anything you wanted to do while everybody's just kind of like squabbling, just making just
100%.
noises?
Is this a closed room? Like this is the sepulcher, this is the end of the line, or does it continue going down further in?
This is more akin to a burial chamber. So you are in, this is a dead end. That it goes no further than this.
I guess Finn would just do a real good pass along all of the walls, see if there's anything hidden, scratchies, little passages, anything that he could maybe find.
Go ahead and give me either a resolve and awareness or an intelligence and investigation, whichever is higher. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Go ahead and for the sake of this, add in your specialty
Well, magical.
because you're just a paranoid little boy.
So resolve and what?
Resolve and awareness or
Yeah,
intelligence and investigation, whichever is higher.
100%. Great. That would be 7. Okay.
Could Dante be looking at the symbolism of on the for like any potential buttons or?
You know what? You can also, if you want to give Finnegan, you can either give Finnegan an assistance die, or you can make your own resolve and investigation, or resolve and awareness to look around the room and see if there's anything that jumps out at you.
I will do my own just because
Uh,
I rock at both of those.
Okay.
Is 3 gonna make it, or should I spend willpower?
Unfortunately, this is not a role that you will be able to willpower for.
Fair enough.
It
Just figured
comes
I'd ask.
it comes upon you so suddenly. It is like a freight train that smashes into your consciousness. Everybody who is not looking around the room, please give me a wits and awareness. So, Zero, Lenka, Luke, wits and awareness. While y'all are doing that, Cyrene, as you feel this vision smash into your consciousness, you feel yourself kind of get sucked down into that inky black darkness that is your unconscious mind. Okay. So thankfully it is a sliding scale, so we're not going to worry about those bestial fails.
Storyteller.
What's up?
It's asking me for difficulty in my roll for some reason. Usually doesn't do that.
Go ahead and put in 4 because that is going to be the difficulty that we want to hit. Oh, that's because you're not using the right dice bot. You're using Malkav. You want to do /V roll? I really need to take that bot off the server. We had been experimenting with it, and it was not. You know what? I'm going to go with the higher roll anyway. we're going to say that you hit the difficulty on that because you rolled it with the other bot. It's fine. I was just more for future reference for other rolls. So you hit the difficulty. Let's see about Finnegan. We are still, I believe, waiting for a Finnegan. No, we got.
I did 3.
Nope, we got. Yep. So you just missed the thing that Dante found.
Great.
Dante, you have found what looks to be a loose stone. But we're going to pause on that because I want to give Cyrene her vision. Cyrene,
I can
you
wait.
see. No, you can't. Like, yes, you can, but no, you can't. You see in your mind's eye a group of individuals in red and gold robes. They are assembled within this very chamber, opening up the Bruja sarcophagus and removing from it the body of a stately gentleman. His clean-shaven face, long gray hair, and bifocals are familiar to every American. This is the face of Benjamin Franklin. As he is removed from the sarcophagus and carried with reverence out of the chamber, you can hear two of the hooded individuals speaking to each other, something about a great work and keeping the seal intact. The rest of us, those who got R2s, you see Cyrene go slack-jawed and vacant stared. Her eyes unfocused. She just kind of... She is still upright. She does not slump. She does not... It is... The lights are on, but no one is home. Hour 1, Lenka, you see your partner kind of go a little foggy. Now, we are going to pivot over to Dante. Are you going to mess with that loose stone?
No, I will motion for Finnegan. Hey, buddy. I think I found something.
Oh, what's this then? Is there any way to see if it? Well, I doubt it. But if it would like trigger something or just open something?
It looks. Is it like a pressure plate, or is it more of one of those things where like you have the walls and the bricks start? You know.
It's more like a loose brick
That you can pull out?
You can't quite tell. You can get your fingers on it, but you can't quite tell if it's something you're supposed to pull or push. But if you grab a hold of it and wiggle it, it does wiggle around in a socket.
Well, I feel pushing things normally ends bad. So if we try pulling it first, that might be good.
Yes, process of elimination makes sense.
Right? See, we're smart. We can do this.
Yeah.
Just kind of get his untrimmed fingernails and claws into the crevices and just try to pull it out.
Okay. As you pull, the stone begins to move. It slides out about halfway, stops. It is at that point that all of you hear a rumble.
Oh, shit.
Cyrene, this rumbling is so loud it shakes you out of your vision.
Shit.
as the salubri sarcophagi begins to slide into the wall,
Hey, we did it.
revealing yet another darkened corridor.
And again, just kind of tosses up his shillelagh a little bit, grabs it in the middle, and points towards the empty space.
Dante just holds his fist up without looking.
Hell yeah, fist bump.
Cyrian's kind of like blinking, like if you've ever seen somebody come out of disassociation, like getting brain back on track. Like, okay.
You okay?
Benjamin Franklin, Bruja, robes.
Robes?
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
bathrobe?
so
Wife killer
no,
robes?
my brain. Can I finish?
No.
Cain, give me strength. So
No, you gotta ask him patience, because if he gives you strength, you'll kill someone.
You're 8-0. I'm gonna beat you over the head if you don't let her finish.
Fine, I'm sorry.
all right. So I had a vision where some individuals in red and gold robes opened up the Bruja sarcophagi and drew out Ben Franklin looking, as stately as he ever were in one of them pictures, and said, "The great work must be preserved. The seal must stay intact," and then scuttled out without him. Well, with him. Very carefully. Like,
What the fuck
they
are the
were holding
Gryffindors
Christ's
doing
body or
here?
something.
Hey, God, does this remind me of anything?
Tell you what, give me a wits and intelligence.
Wits and intelligence? Oh, God.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I offer him an assistance die with my specialty in blood cults?
4 or 5.
No.
Fair enough.
Can I have an extra die for mage as my occult specialty?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
You're working off of pure memory.
Oh.
As we all know, memory is such a fragile thing.
As we all know, Zero has such a good memory at all times.
I mean, Luke has some of his memory. It's okay.
Can I have it?
Luke has a lot of memories.
No, I needed them. I was hungry.
Can I willpower?
I did nom noms on them. They're mine now.
I have 3 failures I can reroll.
You can certainly try.
Okay.
That part of Hawk's story is just inscribed on Luke's flesh is something we're not talking about for the moment. Just a little bit. Hey, while he's trying to see how bad he doesn't remember things, do my fairy eyes see anything in here? Because they don't see vampire magic, but they see other kinds of magic. So I'm just seeing, is there any traces?
You also see the strange sigils inscribed in the Bruja sarcophagus.
Okay.
And you can see clearly down this hallway, this corridor behind the salubri sarcophagus, and it seems to lead to yet another chamber.
Okay.
Question.
Answer.
Does the ghosties, because I still have the Oblivion sight, does the ghosties react to this at all?
The ever-growing orb that has been hanging out with you shudders slightly.
Shudders.
Same.
Cyrene, in the back of your mind, there is a tail end to your vision. That
that's lovely.
little pastel pink voice in the back of your mind. You hear another song in Sandy's characteristic sing-song voice. I am the righteous hand of God. I am the devil that you forgot. And I told you one day you will see that I'll be back, I guarantee. And that hell's coming, hell's coming, hell's coming with me.
Sandy, why that one?
So,
So she's just sighing. Okay. That's not a good sign if she's picking that one.
Finnegan
Pick
looked to
what?
Dante, looked towards the salubri coffin hallway.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
No, to answer your question, Sandy decided to send a song about basically somebody coming back from dead for vengeance that everybody forgot as like God's chosen divine instrument of judgment and death. So maybe we shouldn't all go rushing down the tunnel.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you calling Benjamin Franklin God's divine wrath?
No, at the idea that someone is coming back as a judge, Luke just kind of looks towards George Washington, the Banu, and be like,
Yeah, Zero also slowly turns to George Washington.
Okay, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, what do you want us to do then? Do you want to call John and sit and wait? Or y'all were the ones who said we should investigate this and not call John first. I want to point that out.
Are you pulling an I told you so? That's my job, Finnegan.
We did tell the prince. That's why we had permission to be in the house and the building that he owns.
Well, no, yes, but we haven't reported back about the bodies.
Because we haven't found everything yet.
I suggested last time that we wait and contact John, and we decided to go forward and continue on. And so I'm just saying, why don't we continuing on?
Yes,
That's
I'm
what we're
just
here to
saying,
do.
stick together and cautiously walk. Don't go, la 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 la, skipping off to, the Mayfair or something.
Do you really think that's how I am? In situations like this, how paranoid and mad that I am, do you think that I would go skipping down a dark hallway?
Zero is suspiciously looking at the symbol in the brouhaha and not saying anything about this comment that has been made.
Finnegan, I promise it was not directed at you.
I understand.
Hawk, are you masking?
No.
Questions
No.
before disaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Luke can look at that symbol and go, that's weird and glowy. I don't like it. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it.
Would any of us notice? Oh, God.
Or Lanca's just does any of you guys see ghosties? Can
I
you
think
do
that's
that
more for
right now?
I can. I do.
What's going on with my orb? Why is it doing that?
You have an orb?
Oh yeah, I have this little it was it's like a I don't know like a wispy ghosty thing but it's just around me all the time and it shudders and I don't know why it's shuddering and it happened I don't know what's going on with it.
Luke, when you look at Lenka, you see something roughly the size of a volleyball that resembles a will-o'-the-wisp. And it seems to be shuddering, almost as if it is shaking with fear, anticipation. It's hard to determine exactly the emotion that is going on with this particular entity, but it doesn't look good.
No, I see it.
It doesn't
Wondered why you
normally
had.
do this.
Normally ghosts don't. So why it looks like that is odd.
I know.
It doesn't like being here.
I don't think it
So-
does.
Well,
Has
good
it
to
been
know.
shuddering the entire time, or was it just when the door opened?
It was once the door opened, it started
Right.
vibrating.
I don't think it wants to go down there. Ooh! And it goes a little closer to the door. Does it shudder more?
It does not shudder more. It just continues shuddering as it has since the door has opened.
Finn's just gonna sit by the door and pet Tay and wait.
Before we all or at least Zero follows, he's gonna just touch the symbol of the celestial chorus just to get a feel of how it's carved in. If it feels like it's carved in with a knife, or if it's carved in with maybe a claw, because those have different feelings.
This looks as though it was scratched in with some kind of crude tool. This does not look like it was the precise etching of, say, a chisel or a knife. This looks more like an iron nail or some sort of hasty improvised tool.
Whomever carved this in the sarcophagus did not come here with intentions of carving this.
Why? Why don't you think that?
Because if there was intentions of carving this, it would have been smooth, like a chisel. They would have come prepared. But this is hastily carved in as if they found something next to them and just picked it up and started digging it in to create the symbol. At least that's what my hypothesis is. I will have to do more tests to, I suppose, figure it out. But before I go too deep into that, I do suppose that we should listen to Finnegan and venture forth. Though the celestial chorus being here is not a great sign.
Are there any good signs in this world?
Well,
Exactly.
but
Everything is bad. Everything sucks. Everything is cursed. Everything is evil. The only thing that you can do is fight against it.
Yes, I know that. But what I'm saying is this city has a lot of Mithraean influence, and there's a whole entire subsect of Celestial Chorus that
Finnegan,
also has Mithraean connection.
Finnegan gives a very big, toothy smile and grips his shillelagh hard. Don't you fret. I know how to deal with Ventru.
It's not Ventru.
Oh,
Any
Okay.
Mithraean?
no, it's Mithras worship, but not Ventru's doing it, correct? This is mage nonsense, will workers?
Correct. This is...
Lovely.
Yes. It might take more than a shillelagh to put them down.
Well, that's what you are here for, right?
And they might be down there.
Probably not.
I sure as hell hope not, because that would be a complicated conversation. But let's...
Serene, which way did they take the body?
They took the body out of here, correct? They didn't go down the tunnel?
Correct. They took the body out the way you came in.
I would imagine that they went elsewhere.
The mages buggered off back the way they came. They didn't go down that way, which, if we're going to give a full report to John and our shadow and city law enforcement in general, buddy system, and wash your feet.
We should all be going down.
Yeah, I have no intention of staying up here with the mage symbol that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
And the bodies?
Yeah, well, yeah.
And unless you want to investigate the bodies, I understand that I'm not the most intelligent, but it seems what's in this room is no longer fully useful as we understand most of what is here. And to understand the rest of it, we probably have to go down this hole.
Before we go down the hole, Zero is going to walk up to George Washington.
Okay.
When he's looking the man over, does he see any symbology, any markings?
Do you have the Kindred Iconography lore sheet?
No.
The man seems to be wearing some sort of regalia, but you can't quite tell if it's Masonic, kindred in nature, mage related.
Okay.
It
But clearing this before we sit down to study is probably the best plan.
I do suppose that is
Mhm.
the best option. I just wanted to take a peek at this man that has caused troubles.
So what's the plan? Sit here and document everything and then go on, or
No, go on
Go on.
first. Make sure
Go
there's not
on
any
and then-
danger.
Come back.
okay.
Yeah.
You
Thank
want
you,
me to
Lucky
go first? I can see pretty well right now.
I have no opposition.
Do I need to pop Eyes of the Beast at all?
I could have swore you already had Eyes of the Beast popped when we all
I
came
think
down
you
here.
did.
When we first came down, yeah.
He did,
Makes
yeah.
sense. Makes sense. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, everybody's
Is it-
got if they have special vision, it's been popped since we started coming down here.
All
Yeah.
the special
Yeah.
sites going.
Oh.
Is there light like in the tunnel, or is it just pitch black?
It is pitch black.
Is everyone all right with the pitch black, or do we need to have someone's phone?
I'm probably going to pull out my light because while I can see very well once I have just a little bit of light, I can't see in pure darkness.
I can, so
Yeah.
I don't mind walking.
Same.
Yeah,
So-
I believe I'm the only one that can't see in the dark.
Well, if
Cyrene can't either.
Oh, I thought you had Eyes of the Beast. Heard.
So
Right.
Luke and I in front.
I can cover the rear, make sure that Cyrene and Zero
Yeah.
don't get lost.
And Dante, Sarene, Zero, Finnegan. All right, let's go. Lenka goes.
Zero pulls out his phone and turns on the flashlight and follows down.
As you walk down this corridor, it is tight at first going through the doorway. You can only go through the doorway one at a time, but the hallway does widen to allow you to walk 2 by 2 with, comfortable space in between you. The corridor is not very long, but it is long enough that soon the light from the sarcophagus chamber fades. And you find yourself in what appears to be a vaulted chamber. It looks as though it is a circle cut in half. So the ceiling is wide and arcing. Along either side of the walls, there are benches carved from the stone. There are various tableaus carved into the walls and the vaulted ceiling. If anyone would like to look further at the tableaus, they may. It will require a intelligence and occult.
Do I get specialty?
Them's
No,
are
but I
real
will.
cool pictures.
But I will give you an extra dice based on your background. Finnegan, Dante, Lenka, and Cyrene. Because of your time with John during the war, you will also be getting an extra dice to these rolls.
What was the roll?
It is intelligence and occult.
Lenka would rather just keep an eye out for any danger than looking at these things because she's gonna be
Okay.
rubbish at it anyway.
Can I blood surge?
You are most certainly welcome to blood surge.
Am I just gonna do a wits awareness roll, or no?
Yeah, you can just give me a regular wits and awareness.
And then final question.
Mhm.
Does my lore sheet grant me an extra dice because it says taboo and kindred society?
This is not considered a taboo in kindred society.
Cool.
Can I join Lenka on the wits and awareness as Finnegan
Yes.
walks up to a tableau, sees that it's just a pretty picture, blinks a couple of times, just like, okay.
Absolutely. Oh boy.
I'm willpowering because that is upsetting.
Okay.
4 successes make it, or do I need to spend willpower?
4 is good.
Okay.
5.
Then I will hold on to my 7.
5 is good. Let's see. So, yes. Finnegan, Lenka, these sure are pretty pictures, but danger is more important. But there doesn't appear to be anything dangerous in this room. Though there is something that seems ominous. On the back wall, there is an alcove carved into the wall. And sitting inside of it is what appears to be a finely carved stone stand. And perched inside of it is a large green fluted glass ampoule. More of an amphora, really. It is about a foot tall, about 6 inches wide at its widest. And there appears to be some sort of dark, viscous liquid inside of it.
Liquid.
Kind of.
For those of, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna, with just flavoring, like point with Lenka towards it and be like, "What the fuck is that flower vase there for?"
It does kind of look like a vase with a lid.
Yeah. You can go on.
For
Sorry.
those of us who were looking at the tableau, the various tableaus on the wall, you see pictures of a man fighting with a bull. You see pictures of a man standing before a large, ornate sun. You see different pictures that almost tell the story of a man's life, starting as a soldier, becoming a kindred, becoming a god.
How's my orb?
The orb is still freaking out.
Okay.
The
No more, no
orb
less.
is no more, no less. The orb just it looks like it's just kind of one of these.
Okay.
Zero is clawing in his brain, trying to fucking go through the crinkles. Is this place familiar?
Those of you who have spent time with John, those of you who have studied your history well, would recognize that this is a Mithraeum.
Yeah.
Well, let's Sarian's gonna kind of pivot around as they make the realization and look at the flower vase.
What's
And
that
it all
about?
kind of settles in.
Yeah.
Zero.
Go ahead and give
Go
me
ahead.
another composure and resolve, Cyrene.
There's something up there, and there's some swishy liquid in there. Anyone
Liquid, you
who's
say?
smart know things about flower vases with dark liquids in them?
Liquid, you say?
No forbidden Capri Sun for you, young lad. You're not allowed to drink it.
I'm
So,
twice your age.
Quick,
I don't
quick.
care. Act
While
like it then.
Cyrene is distracted by a vision. Let's do all the naughty things.
Well, Cyrene can't see me. It's time to drink the juice.
I'll snap your neck.
5 successes. Maybe. I don't know what
Watch-
the difficulty is because I
watch
feel
it
like
be
I
not
can't spend
enough.
willpower.
I was just
It is-
going to spirit touch the vase. I wasn't going to drink the liquid.
I
It
was
is
also
enough.
just gonna stare at the vase.
but it was not to stave off a vision. You feel the fear quiet in the back of your mind, Cyrene. Luke, you said you wanted to spirit touch the amphora.
Oh, fucking Godspeed.
Um,
Do it.
yeah, I wouldn't get anything out of the tableaus, so I might as well, right?
Okay. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage for me.
Is that a ranged ability, or are you
Oh no,
going
he's
up?
touching it. He's
Oh,
fucking
no,
touching
he's-
it.
Walk up and touch it.
Yeah.
And then again,
called
just takes a
spirit
couple of steps
touch
back,
for a reason.
shrugs, and just lets it happen because people were giving him grief about the fucking coffins.
It's less spirits touch and or absorption. I'm gonna eat some of this because
Oh.
might as well. It's the same roll, so if I'm already reading the story, I might as well take a bite, right?
Hey,
So,
question.
as Cyrene, go ahead.
I was gonna say Zero is just like right next to him. He can't do anything because he doesn't have any of that stuff. But he's just like standing right next to Luke, just vibrating as he stares down at it. So he gets a first row seat to see exactly what the fuck happens to Luke.
If he looks the slightest as if he's going to try and like touch the liquid, Lenka's gonna try and stop him.
He's not trying to touch the liquid. He's literally touching the vase. He's like, just like the side of the vase.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
If you're looking like you're about to drink it, I will pull you away. But if it's just the vase, I don't care.
Yeah.
No, that's
Cyrene is not going to stop Luke. It's kind of like this 1,000-yard stare of like the math woman meme, where the math finally they get the answer to the equation. We're in a myth, right? Oh, as Luke touches the vase and does his thing.
The two Caitiff are the closest to this thing. If it blows up, was it really a loss? No.
As you touch the amphora, everything around you fades. You find yourself bathed in what feels like as though you were mortal, not as though you were kindred. What feels like the noonday sun. It is warm. It is inviting. Sitting before you, amidst a collection of lounging pillows, is a man in ancient Persian dress, Frisian cap sitting lazily atop his head. He offers you a warm smile. I see you before the vision fades.
Wait, I'm sorry. What were those last 5 words? Did you say it says "I see you"?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Great. Good.
Question.
Answer.
Do I get to slake any of my hunger from that?
You do. You
Cool.
get to slake all your hunger from that.
Why are you?
Wait a second. That's weird. Cool. So
Don't look the gift horse in the mouth right now.
to this number? This 0?
Yes.
Oh joy. That's fun.
You
I
have
don't
been
think it
blessed
ever
by
happened to
divine
me.
providence. So
No one else should touch that.
Why?
You think?
Because it's normally the memories can't see me. That one can.
Okay. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
He touches it.
So
Oh my god.
Christ on the cross, Zero.
No, I stop it. I have more celerity than God. I stop.
I don't have any of that.
I have 2 questions. My first question is,
What the
Nico,
fuck?
are you sure?
No.
You don't want to touch it.
I desperately want to touch it, but I know I'll be stopped.
Second, tell me how this does not activate your knowledge hungry.
That's the problem here. that's the fucking issue that we face with ourselves today.
While you are doing that, just for giggles and ha-has, Luke, if you could please make for me a dexterity and athletics check, you may add your celerity.
Finnegan's just taking out his flip phone and is taking pictures of the wall and of everything. I'm going to send it to John.
While you have no cell service within the Mithraeum, your camera does still function.
Great. 2005 Nokia. Staying alive.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cyrene is probably using the smartphone she's been given, and it still probably doesn't have service down here too. So it's not just
No
your Nokia.
service.
Yeah. Dante's quickly pacing towards the two knuckleheads.
But
So
while
you were-
taking pictures, Cyrene is like, okay, so this remember how our prince is really special and likes Mithras a lot, like to the point of it's now his religion and everything.
Oh,
Is
You were
not
God,
John's,
silence
but of his
him.
religions.
Oh,
could you please repeat that, Fennec? Your
You-
mic cut out there for a second.
Better. Okay. So, as Cyrene is taking pictures, kind of going into teacher mode, right? So you know how John is all about that. You know what would Mithras do? Life, like probably would has the bracelet and everything. Congrats. We found one of their churches, a really old one, not John's church, but like for Mithras in general. So we probably shouldn't touch anything more than we already have. Sees what Nico or what Hawk is doing. Blink, blink. Blink, blink.
I don't know if this has to be like a willpower check for him not to touch it. I can't.
Knowledge hungry is willpower check, so yeah.
Yeah, because I can't find a way to fight the. I can't fight the allegations.
So why don't you go ahead and make for me a willpower check
Okay.
while I post something in Luke's channel.
I'm not worried about that sentence. Not
I
at
am
all.
also not worried about that sentence whatsoever.
It's
That's not
fine.
a lot of successes there.
No, it's not.
I
No,
have to look
no,
on my
it is
phone.
not. So, on the plus side, while you did not make the willpower check, and you want very badly to touch this thing, Luke got more successes and has been able to stop you from
Yeah.
touching this thing. Luke, is
Yeah.
there something you wanted to say to your coterie mate as you now kind of have him gripped up?
I do not think that is a wise choice. But if you'd like to know what I saw, I will tell you.
What did you see?
Saw a man, kind of looks around. Does the man that I saw vaguely resemble the tableaus on the wall around us? Goes,
Oh, he absolutely does.
that
Almost
man.
photorealistic.
That man. Sitting in the sun, where he welcomed me and said that he could see me. Which is very odd because I see memories in objects, not thoughts.
Well, if Mithras is a god, he is here, he is there, he is past, present, future, is able to be in all timelines at all time.
It's a very big if.
I think that's putting a lot of credence into one religion over another.
It's a very big if. And not to-
Also, blood carries memories.
yes, but memories don't actively see you. This did.
that is freaky.
Right. So I would suggest we should probably leave. and go find people who are more experts in this, such as our prince, and let them decide what to do with the freaky church we have found underneath his house.
There's no further. Oh, sorry, Theron, go on ahead.
So,
Oh no! I was gonna
you were
ask
gonna
a
say-
question about investigating before leaving.
Go ahead.
Is there any other I don't know if Mithraims are kind of like how some synagogues and churches will have like bookshelves in certain areas, like kind of behind the altar where they keep scrolls and things like that. No sort of.
Nothing that is immediately visible.
Okay.
If you would like to investigate further,
Yes.
you may. But then again,
Mount?
while you are muttering under your breath, you feel something. You feel this warm presence. Like when your mother used to hand you a warm drink on a cold winter night. Like when your father would clap his hand on your back in pride. You feel awash in this warmth, this strength, this comfort.
He takes a couple of deep breaths in that moment, has a smile, and then a second later, his brow furrows, and he's like, "Great, something's fucking in here. There's a presence, and I don't."
You recall the taste of honey and the words of your young adopted ward. The first rule of dealing with unfamiliar magic: don't.
We need to get out.
It's a good
See if
rule.
there's any further way. I see Cyrene looking around behind the pulpit and stuff. Is there Dante? Is there another rock anywhere? Is there any further? Otherwise, we should. I look to Luke and nod, and it's like we need to get out and tell John.
Can I look for any other rocks?
There doesn't seem to be anything that jumps out at you as a further. This does seem as though it is the end of the line as far as chambers go.
Okay, Dante turns. Okay, out.
As we're about to move out, if Luke still has Zero's hand in, or at least wrist in his hand, Zero's gonna ask Luke to grab his other arm, and just be like, I'm going to ruffle my brain for a second. Just hold me in case. Just hold me.
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. It's me. I'm the fuck up. Hold me.
Yeah. Can you please hold me? And he's just going to comb through every wrinkle in his brain to see if there's like anything familiar at this location.
Wits and intelligence.
Okay. Luke, please hold me.
And then for Cyrene investigating, like just to see if there's any other papers or things we can take out with us, like not disturbing the vial of Mithras's blood at all or anything like that, what would that be?
I'll get to that.
And this is why we don't make
Go ahead and figure that out.
So while I'm figuring that out, go ahead, Cyrene, and give me a resolve and investigation.
Oh, jeez.
Will any willpower fix this?
You're welcome to try.
Okay. Off we go. Please, fuck
would
me.
instant iconography come into?
Oh,
For our at-home audience, that is 0 success, well, 1 success, and 2 1s on the blood die, and nothing else, even with a reroll that rerolled smaller numbers even.
Kindred iconography, I will say gives you a 2 dice bonus to your roll.
Okay, thank you.
Hawk.
Hey, Nico, remember in our group chat area where you asked why is Hawk considered the child?
He was just looking through his
This
memories.
is why.
Leave him alone. He was just trying to remember.
Play
Oh,
silly game,
buddy.
win silly prizes.
This is, after all, a game that does, on occasion, punish you for interacting with it. Oh, Hawk. Oh, buddy. So,
I'm willpowering that.
you suddenly have you have never had a thought before in your entire life.
Same.
There is just smooth brain. All ideas slide right off like a water slide. You are going to take 2 points of aggravated willpower damage.
Oof. Okay.
That's
We're
just
fine.
being disrespectful.
After spending willpower, 3 successes, which puts me at 6 out of 7.
Okay. So it was tough. It was tough. But you do see, set into the side of the alcove, the left side of the alcove, there is a notch of sorts that has within it a scroll. Would you like to read that scroll?
Okay.
Would you like to remove it from the alcove? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, she's gonna take out that dagger John gave her, the night one, and look at and very carefully keep her voice low and whisper to the vial in Latin because she doesn't know Persian or anything, and that's the closest. I mean, no disrespect. I am doing this for one of your followers as a knight. And then very gently with the knife, just whoop, and slide it in her bag so we can look at it when we're out of here.
Okay. All right. Congratulations. You now have a scroll in your bag. But
Yippee!
now,
And
are we now leaving expeditiously?
Yes, I
Yes.
think so.
Please.
Okay. So there is nothing further that impedes your progress. You are able to leave without any kind of impediment. You find your way back up into the Benjamin Franklin house. As you exit back out to the city streets, Mr. Carey is still sitting in the van waiting for everybody. What would we like to do? Where would we like to go now?
Who has a direct line? Well, we all have direct lines to the prince. Should we text him or call him to let him know to meet us at the Coterie Haven?
I think we at least need to meet him somewhere.
Yeah. I can bring him while we go. Let's do. Considering our Coterie Haven has a buddy, we should ask if we can meet on Elysium grounds. Probably a little better warded to make sure our buddy doesn't come by.
I agree. We should go and meet him, not have him come meet us.
Okay, that works.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Should we also call the sheriff? I think a sheriff call would be beneficial. He looks directly at the deputy in the Coterie.
You
I
do have a
mean,
deputy with you, so
Yeah.
the deputy can prepare a report for the sheriff.
Yeah, that's why he's like asking the deputy. He's like,
yeah.
are you good enough, or should we get the sheriff involved?
I think if it's something you really, really want, I mean, you can do it. But I think I'll just
Well,
make a report. It's fine.
Okay.
That is code for Benny's player is currently unavailable, so utilize the resources that you have at hand.
That's valid.
We closed up all the doors behind us.
Good call.
Yes.
Good
Because
call.
Pushing the brick.
we don't
Yeah.
want to cause any, like, we closed that one. We got all the way back as far as we had and closed the doors so that no one can stumble down there and become a masquerade breach that we then have to deal with.
Good call.
Reset the chess pieces.
As you are all standing outside deciding what to do, may I please have a wits and awareness? The difficulty is low.
Cool. Hypervigilance specialty, yes?
This is just for Luke.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you cut out on that part.
Sorry.
Technology gremlins.
That's 3.
That's what I was looking for. A slight breeze picks up. The warm night air replaced for a brief instant with a chill. As a piece of paper plasters itself against your leg. Looking at it, it looks to be a flyer that reads, "Come one, come all, to the world famous Midnight Circus."
Christ above.
No!
Does it have a date on it?
It does. The Midnight Circus will be in town in 1 week's time.
Cool. I don't have to make my knowledge hungry test right now then. Cool.
Correct.
Fold that up, put that in my pocket.
Has my orb calmed down, by the way?
It has.
Oh, good. Was it as soon as we came out of the...
Yep. Once you were back to
Graham?
street level,
Oh, okay.
it calmed right down.
Zero is feverishly writing and drawing everything that he saw in his notebook.
Yeah, Lenka is also writing in a notebook to prepare for the report.
While everybody's getting in the... Okay.
Go ahead.
So while everybody's getting in the van, Cyrene's pulling out John's or her phone, contacting the number, the non-emergency number for John, and just letting him know, "Hi, boss man. We found some interesting stuff in that museum you want us to check out. Is it cool if we come by the main office and let you know? It has to do with like those churches and everything around the sun and all that have been popping up and whatnot."
There is a long, pregnant pause on the line before you hear John reply, I'm at my law office. I want you all to come meet me there immediately."
Understood. We can meet you there, sir. I'll let Mr. Carey know. All right, thanks. Bye. Click.
As we're
Tell Mr.
like,
Carey.
about-
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, she would just be like, "All right, Harrison Co. actually, not the museum," and whoop, in the car.
As we're like driving and starting heading over, Zero's just, as he's like still writing all of his notes and drawing them, he's like, once we're finished, do you want me to hand this notebook over just in case another blackout happens?
Huh?
Me?
Yes, looking at the person. Yes.
Cyrene looks up from her notes. Yeah, probably a good idea.
Okay. Once we're done talking
Just,
with the prince, I'll hand over my
Everybody
notebook.
points at 0. Just in case, make sure be ready to dogpile.
Wait, what? Why?
Just say the
What?
word. Just say the word.
I mean,
Sitting
gladly.
in. Oh, okay.
Hey, and I do that to any of you.
While we are doing this, I am going to call for a short little break in the action. Let everybody grab some water, use the bathroom, grab some snackies, process the information. We will meet back here in
Snacky.
5 minutes.
Woo!
So we will see you all back here in 5 minutes.
Woo!
Welcome back, one and all. We have returned from our quick little break. We are ready to get back into the action of our session. Before we left off, everybody had piled back into the van. Mr. Carey was told that they are meeting John over at the law offices of Harrison and Company. And Mr. Carey just gives a wordless nod before he starts driving over. We did have one thing that we wanted to cover during the drive, but for the sake of fairness, is there any conversation that we want to have on our way over?
Just as I also texted you guys that Lenka asks for everybody's notes and pictures so she can add it to the report for the sheriff.
Okay. So let's see. It looks like we do have a little bit of background chatter coming in on the audio. Looks like it might be coming from you, Nico. That's the one. It's okay. These things happen. But anyway, we get over to the building that houses Harrison and Company. You would recognize it as One Liberty Plaza. It is one of the older, more imposing skyscrapers in the city. Its facade of glass and steel rising to the heavens like a needle jutting from the surface of the city. You all enter into the building. The gentleman at the front desk greets you all and asks you what he can help you with. This individual does not look to be a ghoul, does not look to be kindred.
If no one else, Irene can talk to the man.
Feel free.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
I
I didn't hear what you said.
Uh,
What did the man say?
The man asks how he can help you, and he appears to be neither ghoul nor kindred.
Lenka just looks to Cyrene.
Right. Hi. We're here to see Mr. Harris. We have a meeting regarding a lawsuit. He said for us to meet him here. I have a feeling John has probably given us like a name or something that we can, if we have to come here, that we can give.
The man looks at you. He thumbs through a stack of papers on the desk in front of him. He goes, "Oh, yeah, Mr. Harrison's expecting some folks for the class action. All right, well, go on ahead." But yes, Luke, your normie senses are tingling.
I don't like it here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And she'll quickly usher everybody towards the elevators.
Is
Luke
this
doesn't need to be ushered. He goes very quickly because he has a compulsion to not stay here.
If anything, Luke is the one ushering, like, all right, let's go, come on. Faster.
Is this perhaps the building where Lenka's girlfriend works in? Bambi?
This is the building that Bambi works in.
Ah, okay.
Bambi is not working this evening, but this is the building that Bambi
she's
works
busy
in.
with other things.
She's busy servicing a very important account.
Yeah, sure she is.
She's proving how flexible she can be to her job.
Anyway,
In
continue.
the words of one of our favorite people, sticky.
Cyrene, you have been to Harrison and Company before. You know there is only one
Mhm.
elevator building that will take you to the offices in particular. It is the express up and express down. It usually requires a key fob or a key card. This is a badge in, badge out elevator. Thankfully, as part of the as one of the perks of being in the coterie, you all do have a small RFID card that will allow you access to this elevator. You get in the elevator. It immediately takes you up to the rear entrance of Harrison and Company. You bypass the lobby, and it rises directly into what is considered the back offices. This is more like the employee elevator and less the visitor elevator. You would notice that there are no cameras in this elevator. It is private, secure, just the way John likes it. At the end of the long hallway dotted with inconspicuous office doors is the large, ornately carved oak door that clearly marks out John's office. As you make your way towards the office door, is anyone going to knock on the door?
Yes.
All three of us just knock. Whomever goes there first, who has the highest dexterity.
I mean, if we're going by dexterity and celerity, it would be Luke that gets there first.
Yeah, but is he knocking?
No, he's letting Cyrene lead the way. She's the one that has the court
Oh, yeah.
position.
Yeah, that makes sense,
Is also, he doesn't know it, but is the knight. Like, it makes the most sense for Cyrene to lead the way. Also, it's a social thing. Luke
But
doesn't
I
have anything
don't
to do with it.
want responsibility. I just want an ice
That's
cream.
too damn bad.
Damn bad.
I call for.
I imagine
Before-
it's Cyrene and Lenka walking in front.
Before I forget, Cyrene, you did say that you wanted to read that scroll in the car on the way over. You
Yeah.
said you don't speak
Yeah, you
Persian?
can just put it in my channel if that's easier. I don't.
Unfortunately, you have no idea what this
Okay.
scroll says because it is all written in ancient Persian.
Shame.
Makes a note for when she gets back to the chantry and pockets it.
So, Cyrene, as you knock on the door, everybody, please give me a wits and awareness if you would not mind.
Okay.
Can I add my hypervigilance?
If you have hypervigilance, you may add it. If you have paranoia, you may add it.
Heightened senses?
Absolutely add it.
Okay.
Ambushes.
No reason.
Hey,
Not
it's
so
a fair
much.
question. It's a fair question to ask.
I mean, he did hunt me for years.
Okay, that's much better. Like, oh, look at you.
Okay, so that's 3, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, I had to do some math when adding thingies.
So, as we go through, hey, we are going to start with our one successes. One success. This door, it's clearly made of door. you get that this is the kind of door that like rich muckety mucks have. Moving on to our 2 successes. Lenka, you hear it's like the hum that comes from fluorescent lighting, but that's about it. Moving on to our 3s. Again, you hear that kind of low fluorescent hum along with maybe a click, a tap, something like that. For our 5 successes, which is everybody else, 5 and 6 successes, you very clearly hear what sounds like a magnetic lock disengaging from the door as it slowly creaks open. Inside, Cyrene, you would immediately recognize this office because it is a one-for-one replica of the one he had down in Florida. There is the large portrait of Lady Catherine that looks over his desk, the Victorian era furniture that dots the office. It is larger than the office he held down in Florida, but it is a one-for-one recreation. There are subtle sun motifs, ornately carved lion busts. Just this office screams John. And seated at his desk, amidst piles of paperwork, you see your prince. He offers a polite smile and rises from the desk, offering you a shallow bow. I'm glad that you were able to make it so quickly. And he gestures to the furniture around the office. Please make yourselves comfortable. I'll be happy to take any reports that you have for me.
Lenka, when she enters, she also gives a bow and sits down.
There's not a seat that isn't like in eyesight of that giant painting, is there?
No.
Cool. Luke is just a little uncomfortable about the painting, but that's fine.
Finnegan sees the wide hat and squints in suspicion.
That hat speaks of the monarchy, and I do not approve.
Zero, in a very strangely familiar way, finds a corner where his back can be pressed and where he has eyesight of both the window and the door, and he leans against it.
There are no windows in this office.
Oh, beautiful. So just a corner where he can put his back up against and lean against and looks and make sure that he sees the door.
Yeah.
As you enter into
Cyrene
the
will do her
office,
customary bow and sit.
as you all enter into the office and take your seats, the door swings closed and you hear that bonk as the door locks. The prince looks among you. So, who's first?
Zero looks directly at the 2 officials. No, you get to go first, you 2.
Lenka collects all of her little papers and the notebooks and just hands them over, puts them on a desk.
John will take the paperwork, begin leafing through it.
I will probably need that back so I can make an actual report for Sheriff Benny. However, I'm going to try my best to talk about and explain what happened down there. So if I have any mistakes, feel free to pitch in. Looks at Cyrene, looks back at John. Anyway, we can't come to this house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, just had hard eyes watching you be all official.
on the way up there, I want to make a note as well that Linka made sure that her pin was very visible. Like, so we come to this house and we go down, in and down, and we find these weird things. And then we go further down, and there's this weird crypt, and there are these sarcophagus, and there are like we consider if we should open them or not, and then these guys all decide that they want to open them, so we open them, and they are all like the presidents, but torpored American presidents, of different clans, and there are only 2 clans missing, right? Right? Yes, the one with the eye in the forehead, and
you're right.
And then the Bruja.
The Slippery.
And the Bruja. Yes, and then the Bruja we think is, what was his face?
So while we were down in there, and here's a list of all, and she'll present the list of all the founding fathers that are now in the coffins.
Yeah.
I had a vision which showed that the Bruja was Ambassador Benjamin Franklin, but he was taken by who we believe to be a sect of mages, in regards to something they said about that the great work must be preserved and that the seal must not be broken. And then they kind of just disappeared with him.
Yeah, and then these guys found this loose rock in the wall and pulled it out, without conferring to the rest of us. Anyway,
You're welcome, by the way, and we have names, lass, not just these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you seem to be throwing us under the bus quite a lot for being a deputy.
Yeah, you were the one who opened up the coffin first.
Everybody, we all agreed to open the coffins.
Anyway, I'm sorry. We all agreed to pull out the fucking brick. You happy?
Finnegan just rolled his eyes and just
No, but continue.
on.
Anyway, the brick is pulled out, and the slippery coffin moves, and there is this dark hallway. And we discuss a lot to figure out what we're going to do and decide we're going to go investigate, see what's in there. And I can't tell you what it is because I can't remember what it was called. Sareen?
Your Grace, we ended up finding a Mithraeum
That.
behind this passage with what both Luke and Zero and myself suspect to be an amaranth? Not amaranth?
Amphora.
The exact word. An amphora of the Ventru Methuselah Mithras's blood, if Luke's visions on it are to be confirmed.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I need to practice this talk.
I can't speak to the liquid inside. That the amphora itself was touched by something that matches the description of Mithras. There was memories in it, and the memories seemed cognizant, which is strange.
Interesting.
There was a presence there. It was unsettling, to say the least, for me at the very least.
Yeah, and this orb guy I have that's following me around, like normally it's pretty calm and chill, but like it was shaking down there.
John seems to key in on Finnegan. His hands slide into his pockets. What's your assessment, Mr. Omadra?
Well, I don't right know much about religious stuffs, and this seems more up your alley than anything. But while it was a comforting presence at first, and perhaps I'm just not used to comfort. That's why I don't trust it. But there's a lot of symbolism down there. There's a lot of occulty, churchy things. And I'm not the one for it. I'm not a thinker. I'm not a religious person. But I just don't. I get a weird feeling in me spine.
Prince nods, seemingly digesting this assessment before he turns to Luke. Mr. Mallory, please, in as best detail as you can manage, tell me what it is that you saw.
Normally, when I use those gifts, I see memories. I would refer to as the stories that were kind of imbued into an item. This time it was different. It was more like visiting a place. Normally I see through the eyes of the person who had this item or left those memories. In this time I was there, as though I was being greeted by this figure, and he will kind of describe the figure, standing in the sun. And the last thing, or the only thing he really said was, "I see you." Oh, just as I started a question, did I have a mark on me now from that feeding?
On the palm of your right hand, there appears to be an ornate tribal sun.
And he will kind of hold up the hand, and it left this mark.
John will stride over, look at Luke's palm. May I?
Of course.
And he'll gingerly, almost reverently, cup the back of Luke's hand, his finger tracing over the edges of this mark. Huh. Strange. But it would appear. And as quickly as he cupped it, he releases it. It would seem as though you have been in fact touched by the divine. My immediate reaction is to tell you that you have been given a great gift. But that is from my perspective. You may feel quite differently about it.
My prince, I have reason to believe that the Mage Circle is a celestial chorus.
Then he'll look through the notes again, look at Cyrene, back to Hawk. Are we aware of which organization within the Celestial Chorus?
I have every suspicion that it is. 1 second.
As of right now, Your Grace, I've been deferring to Zero on that. He's a little more knowledgeable, but we have been trying to research, and she'll look over as he's pulling stuff out and pull out the sermon notes. Who knows? There was this scroll that I was able to find. I was going to confer and see if anybody in the coterie was able to read ancient Persian before we gave you a fuller report on it.
Persian. It happens to be a particular area of study of mine, given my faith. And he holds out he hands the papers back to Lenka, steps over to Cyrene and holds his hands out.
Okay, there we go. Found it.
And she'll hand it over while Hawk presents,
I believe it to be the Sons of Mithras.
The plot thickens. And he'll step away, unfurling the scroll to read through it. As he scans line by line, you see his lips move, but you don't hear him saying anything out loud. It's that thing that people do when they read the paper and they just kind of mouth the words along as they're reading. As he reaches the end of the document, he rolls it back up, pats it gently against his palm, sets it on his desk. You don't mind, Knight or Leclerc, I'll hang on to that.
Yes, sir.
First time hearing this, Finnegan just kind of slowly raises an eyebrow but doesn't say anything.
If everybody's kind of giving Serene an eyebrow, she's just gonna kind of give him later motion.
It would seem you may have found one of the first Mithraians of the city. Older than the city itself. It is interesting, given the layers of security that it had built atop it. I don't
We
think
could prob-
even the former regime knew about it.
And speaking about the security, sir, we should probably add on to it. Keeping eyes on it, making sure no one else goes in since we know about it now.
Former regime knew something about it. At
That
least
is true.
they thought a weapon was hidden there, correct? That is what started our
Given-
quest.
It does
Given
seem
the
that they thought a weapon was present, given the presence of potentially the blood of the Methuselah. It could be that they thought this was the secret weapon they were lacking. After all, the blood of the Methuselah is powerful.
My prince, if I may be so bold as to ask, did the old regime work with mages?
Not to my knowledge. It does seem as though there were aligning interests in some cases, but it does not appear as though they were working in direct accord.
Understood. Because it's interesting how they took Benjamin Franklin and left a hastily drawn symbol.
What it appears is we have another case of overlapping interests. I would like to caution you all as this mystery deepens that when one hears the sound of hoofbeats, it is best to think horses, not unicorns. Caution is the order of the day.
A query for everyone, if I might.
What's up,
Please go on,
Finnegan?
Audra.
Why'd they just take Franklin? What was so special about him and none of the rest?
Because he was part of a bunch of secret societies before he was embraced, I would imagine.
Plus, if we're to believe context clues, we found it under Ben Franklin's house, the key to all this. It seems as if he was designing it and one of the main architects in a way.
Just seems interesting to be taking a brouhaha out of all of them.
Zero just kind of looks to Cyrene and mouths quietly, Truha?
Maybe.
He'd be the right age.
Maybe what? What's going on? What about age?
There is
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I have had interesting conversations with the sheriff about her family. This might be necessary to bring to her attention personally.
It's a good thing we got a deputy with us.
No, no. If I may, this is something I will bring to her privately. It is I don't mean to sound condescending, but this is slightly above your pay grade. The talk of true Bruja is not one that should be had lightly. However, I do believe Mr. Omadra is on the right track. We should focus on why Mr. Franklin was chosen, why he was taken, and where he could have been taken to.
I can let all the smarts folks figure out everything with the Mithraean crypt and the symbologies and everything. Tracking someone down, that's something I can do.
If I can.
Then I'd like you to lead the charge on that. I'd like you to lead the charge on that, Mr. Omadra, and work closely with Zero. He has an understanding of certain topics that you may find useful in your hunt.
No, and also looks over to Dante.
Yes. I'm curious if I were trying to replicate. Mind you, we don't fully understand the full purpose of this containment yet. If I were trying to replicate it, wouldn't the architect be the person we took? Perhaps that is the purpose, or at least partly, of why it was him, beyond his infiltration on association with other societies. He was an inventor, architect. If they wanted to create something similar.
Similar or repair it. Because think about it. We don't know when they were put down there. But they would have to been embraced after close to around the time of their recorded deaths in history. So we're talking close to beginning of 1800s for quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Magic needs, depending on how well you seal something, you're going to have to go and check the seal and make sure it ain't degraded. It's just a thought. It's a theory, which it ain't the forefront yet, but it's something to maybe keep in mind while we're investigating.
I'd like everybody to give me a wits and awareness check, please.
Oh, goody.
Heightened senses come into this?
I wouldn't say heightened senses.
Okay.
This is more of a sure.
Okay. Paranoia?
Yes.
Seven.
Dice are not letting up at all, are they?
Okay. 4 successes.
Woo.
Same for Finn. 4. Hey, look at that.
Oh, Dante, buddy. That's great.
Would you like to? That's great. That's a roll. Would you like to try and fix it?
Go for more crit. Go for more crit.
Crit fish, crit fish.
That's a willpower, right?
Yep, it would cost a willpower, and you would do select reroll and pick those two tens.
Zero, I think, is also like going to ask the prince if it would be beneficial to maybe safely have a look through his brain. Not him, because apparently he can't do shit.
Finnegan just starts laughing maniacally.
The good news on your wits and awareness rolls is that one was the difficulty because you're all standing looking at the prince.
Let's go.
You see him. It almost looks like he's itching the palm of his left hand through his glove because he's wearing these black cloth gloves.
And what was the hand that Luke had his new symbol on?
The right.
Okay.
But none of you were there for the Praetorian assignment, so that's okay. But anyway, so there's that little detail that you see about the prince where he's just kind of itching for a moment, which is strange because Kindred don't itch.
You're right there, sir.
Lost in thought, Mr. Omadra.
I will say, it is a good thing at the very least that these, the mages only stopped with Ben Franklin.
I don't think they stopped.
Well, there's no evidence of them going down, is what I'm saying, because they would have taken the blood. If these sons of Mithras found this ancient crypt, wouldn't they have taken it? Wouldn't they have sealed it?
No.
Just makes sense to me. If I find a holy relic of my faith, I'm going to take it with me.
Yeah, but it was the hunt.
No, Finnegan has a point. They likely stopped in the crypt and did not continue on to the Mithraeum. Otherwise, they would have secured the relic.
Precisely.
Which is what we will do. I will do. In the meantime, perhaps I should, if I expect honesty from my Ancilla, I should give honesty. So you are all aware, I did go on an assignment recently with Benny and a few others. There is a pattern that I believe is emerging. Individuals of our kind that are used to seal away things. One was used to seal a portal to Stygia. Who knows how many more there may be, if they are all sealing away the same thing or different things. I don't expect you to solve this problem. I want you to focus on Mr. Franklin and see what this entails. This is the task at hand. But we do have something of a ticking clock. Several members of the city have obtained unusual marks, ones that we believe are connected to oblivion. So I want you all to focus on Mr. Franklin and what it could be that he is sealing away.
What about the Black Spiral for us?
going to contact some of our gangrel allies from outside of the city, considering it was a gangrel that was taken. I'm sure your clan will be eager to get her back. So I've sent a message to Jed and Mori. It would seem that the elders among you are interested in potentially having a gather.
Finnegan nods.
I will not tell you that city business trumps clan business, Mr. Omadra. So please juggle as needed. And if there's any assistance I can provide, do not hesitate to ask for it.
Of course, sir.
These are dark and troubling nights that we find ourselves in.
Lots of moving pieces. We just got to move with them.
I thank you all for your time and dedication to our cause.
Zero.
It is through your diligent work that our city becomes stronger, becomes safer. And you will all notice that John says our city, not my city.
Get that emotional tie-in.
Zero is like in the corner as he's listening, but he's like looking so incredibly frustrated right now.
Cyrene will clock it and raise an eyebrow at him.
Is Zero attempting to mask that frustration?
No, he's like scowling to himself, like full on just not hiding it at all.
Something on your mind?
That's the problem.
Perhaps I can summon an associate of mine. She is exceedingly adept at matters of the mind.
Might be beneficial. I do know that I was in Philadelphia in the early 1800s and have close connections to some individuals that might be at play here. If there's something in my mind that might direct us in the correct path to where Benjamin Franklin would be, I would happily give it. Unfortunately, no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to push back against a wall that is placed in front of me, and it is exceedingly frustrating.
It may help to know that I understand your frustrations intimately. And this particular associate helped me with my own issues.
Would definitely be of benefit, especially if the information that I have could definitely help this coterie. I've been trying to be as forthcoming with information as I can, and sometimes when I can't, I sometimes put myself in harm's way just to give it.
Finnegan kind of sits up, remembering something about this associate, and like looks to Cyrene. He's like, "Is that the one that also came before and helped with mind stuff?"
Yeah, I think you're. If I'm correct, Your Grace, you're speaking of Miss Violet.
Miss Love, yes.
Miss.
She is.
She'll turn to.
Oh.
Will always be a trusted ally and good friend of this court.
Just nods and makes a mental note for later.
She'll also nod and look at Zero. You should invest in a. You got a raincoat?
A what?
Maybe a windbreaker.
Why?
She has
You
a
should just get
fondness
one.
for water guns.
All right. As long as there's no silver laced in it, I should be fine.
Oh, no, nothing so vile.
Nah. maybe a bit of dish soap if like you're particularly, get on her bad side, but
I don't mind a little bit of water. It'd be fun. I have participated in water gun fights before.
Well, it generally tends to be the bleach that gets to be a bit much.
Okay.
But you've all given me a lot to think on. I recommend retiring to the Coterie Haven and carefully planning your next steps. If there is nothing else you have for me, I will leave you to your night.
I have something for you. And Luke, out of his pocket, will pull the folded flyer.
Yeah.
This should, well, I think you should know that this is coming. Not sure there's anything can be done about it, but it is scheduled now.
I will not make anybody roll for this. For the
Oh,
first
good.
time, for those of you that were here for the war, for those of you that have gotten to know John, John does not express fear. John does not express doubt. John projects the strength of the city itself. But you watch as John grows paler and paler and paler until he stands stark white as a sheet of paper as he looks over this flyer held in trembling, gloved hands. His voice comes as a dry croak. Midnight Circus, you say?
Oh, fuck.
The flyer found me, so it is an invitation.
This is how it starts. I will express supreme caution. This circus is dangerous. And it will take from you if you are not careful.
Are the chairs in John's office wood or leather?
They are wood and cloth.
At the mention of the Midnight Circus, Tay starts growling low, and Finnegan is trying his very best not to break the arms off the chair.
He hands the flyer back to Luke.
Luke will carefully fold it and put it back.
He slowly strides over to Finnegan and takes a knee beside Finnegan and Tay.
He's just breathing, trying to. Well, they don't breathe, but
He's seething.
Mm-hmm.
John's voice is low, but still audible to all in the room. They won't have her. I'll see to it. Keep our people safe.
It won't. And if they try,
If they
then I'll
try,
kill the next ringmaster.
if they try, they'll destroy them all.
Just nods in agreement. He has like 1,000-yard stare. In war, he's ready to kill.
I don't
But
like
for now,
that.
I need courage from you, soldier.
Just nod.
Good man.
I would
And
imagine
he
if the invitation
gently-
found me, it also found her. So I would warn the boy then.
He stands up, gently pats Finnegan's shoulder in a show of solidarity. I'll speak to them both. It would not surprise me if it has already found them. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. It would appear I have much work to do this evening. And he walks over to the office door, presses a large green button beside it. You'll hear the lock disengage as he practically yanks the door open. I will not throw you out into the cold, but I will not keep you here any longer. Unless there is anything else that needs to be brought to my attention. We have work to do, Ancilla.
Hands salute, leave. Takes out his phone as he's walking down the hallway.
John will return the salute to Finn.
Blanca grabs Cyrene's hand and walks out.
Cyrene will
Hasn't done in a long time.
Cyrene will very gratefully lace their fingers together and give John a nod, kind of a, if you need me, call on me, and we'll talk more later about everything.
But what is it that the group does now?
Zero will be the last out, and he just kind of looks over his shoulder as he gives a nod to the prince. There's like a look there before he continues walking with the group. And then he'll just like call out to the group, should we go back to the haven and talk?
Dante would be last out, nod to the prince, shut the door, and acknowledge Zero and saying yes. Could someone explain to me, I know the general broad strokes of the circus. Evil, chaos, incarnate, all that, but
Wouldn't classify it as such, but
Trixie.
it is the thing that I have been chasing for many, many years.
Why are you chasing it? We're walking and
Answers?
talking. Ah. That would make the most sense. Is there plans for anyone attending this event?
I will be accepting the invitation.
Would you like a friend to accompany you?
Wait a minute. Wait, what? You're going?
When the circus arrives, I will be attending. It has been my purpose for being here. Among many other things, the circus is the reason that I have traveled this coast up and down for years. And it is part of the reason that Billy was opened to me as a place to set up shop. That and that there was another similar situation to myself.
I don't know much about this circus. I've only been warned about it. And I know that some of my clanmates have been taken.
It is.
So, forgive me, I would not stand in the way of anyone's pursuits, but given your recent displays of lack of control when it comes to information, do you think it's wise you go tagging along into such things, Zero?
I don't have much care for Fae information. It's not really my wanting to know more.
You might not care about the information they have, but they care about the information you possess.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea you go, Zero.
with your mind being what it is.
I was just wanting to offer
Oh,
my
I appreciate the offer. I know it is not a thing that many others would risk, but this is answers about what I am,
yeah.
what this is, that I cannot pass up the chance for.
Yeah.
The danger is worth.
Yeah, I don't want you to go alone in this.
I have
No,
a feeling I won't be, but
and I don't want to take away your looking out for, because I agree he does not need to go alone. I just don't want to see you hurt, friend.
These folk are very dangerous. I almost got lost to them. It's just very tricksy working with the fair folk, as you much know, Luke. And it's just they're conniving. They'll twist your words and make you say something that you don't want to, and then you'll stay with them forever. So whoever does end up going with, you got to be careful. And this is the most like angry, nervous Finn has ever been.
before I go, I want to discuss your interactions with them as much as possible. I have, from the story put together, I am guessing there is more to do with our mutual friend and them than has been told.
If you both are going to go and are determined, I'd also advise reaching out to Primogen Islington. If I remember correctly, he went down when it was in Florida. That's how they ended up getting Imelda and everything and whatnot down there. But he might have some information he can give you.
Never wanted to turn down that, so. But that is a problem for later. I think we have more immediate discussions for us to have.
Cyrene, you're aware of one other person that had dealings with the circus.
Oh,
Shadow.
Yeah, we should so probably let Alicia know if you're going, because she went there too. So she probably has more information as well.
All right, let's all pile up into the car and head back to the Coterie Haven.
And Mr. Carey is dutifully waiting for you in the parking lot. He is just, sitting in the van playing what looks to be one of those old school Tiger handheld, like LCD video games. He looks at everybody. You all look like shit.
It's been a long night, but you think you could take us back to our office?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Cyrene,
Mm-hmm.
can you open up my phone and text Rowan and ask him to send over the video that I had him collect on a certain professor at the University of Pennsylvania?
Okay. Does as asked. You can put that in your text thread with him.
The ride back to the Coterie Haven is uneventful. Mr. Carey is silent behind the wheel. The thin strains of what sound like maybe techno, electronica. It's hard to tell with the volume this low. And his head bops in time to the music as you pull back up to the Coterie Haven. As you enter, the building is immaculate as it always has been. And the message that had been scrawled in the floor in one of the rooms has been dutifully filled and painted over as though it were never even there. But he gives you all a nod. If anybody will need me, I'll be in the office. And he just toddles off.
I think it might be a benefit if we all sit down and talk about working together as a team.
Okay.
Specifically in the language that we use when giving reports.
I'm sorry, guys.
Nika, you are a part of this team as much as anyone else is. By saying they all decided or they all went about doing this when I said no.
I didn't say I said no. Did I?
You suggested you wanted to do something against what you wanted to do, as well as tossing a couple of us underneath a bus and then running over us a couple of times.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it for it to sound like that.
We are working together as a group, and with this group dynamic, we all raise each other up, as well as we all take the fall together. So by throwing members of groups under the bus, or by saying they did this while I wanted to do that, or they did this when I was worried about that, it paints them in a bad light. And then when you turn around and then you say, I did this when good things happen, it separates you from the group.
Fractures us as a unit, is all. And I know that you weren't meaning to, and you're new as this deputy and giving reports and all that. That's just why we're telling you.
Thank you for telling me. Do better.
It would occur to some of you that Lenka is new to her posting and is going to require some acclimation to it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why he's not like yelling at her. He's like, "Hey, this is what I come off." Yeah,
could probably let the person who knows more about courtly dealings and how to present these reports give them first as maybe an example for you to learn from, rather than trying your hand first thing. It's all a learning experience, is all. But when you say we opened the coffins, when you were the one who rushed forward and opened the coffin first.
I did not.
To be fair, we were all talking about it, but I see where everybody's coming from.
Let's take a time out and have a check-in from our players.
Green.
Okay. Excellent. Please continue.
It was a good first attempt. We're all.
It was not. Don't cover for me.
I think
know it was terrible. I know it was shit. I regret what I said as soon as I said it. I'm a bumbling mess. I know. I learned from my mistake. This was a terrible mistake. I'm truly sorry.
No,
if I may, I'm glad it went the way it did, because If it went great, what did you learn from it?
Precisely.
You learned the most information from our mistakes.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
But I
getting where I was
also...
trying to go.
What's that?
I said thanks for getting to where I was going with too many words.
Yes. And we could do better at saying, hey, I'm going to do this before I do it. So there's that. Me and Finn will try to control our curiosities, as I encourage everybody else to, because things could have gotten a lot worse than they did, given each of our unique desires to touch things. Just more communication in general, I think, is great. That's all I have to say about it.
I think it would be good. And this is not me attacking you, Lenka. This is me who has been a part of Camarilla society and watch courts for hundreds of years. That the best people are the people that lean on their resources and work together. I've seen what happens when kindred throw others the bus, and I've seen how it fractures clans. He looks at Cyrene, and I've seen how it fractures groups.
We're a coterie. We're a
Yeah.
unit. We go and do dangerous missions together. We have to be able to trust one another. And we will. Sometimes that trust is just hard earned.
Yeah.
We all want to do what's best for this city. We all want to do what's best for John. I don't doubt intentions at all.
Yeah. Being kindred is hard. It's a learning experience. Being a kindred forced into a position of power when you yourself are just realizing how to not breathe can be even harder.
Being social is hard.
Extremely.
Don't remind me.
I'm once again asking the Coterie to get some thoughts on subterfuge.
We just need to remember how serious this is.
Yeah.
I have a
I
dog.
guess it's all fun, and we get to have fun talking about a rat looking like John. But when we go down into a crypt with weird symbologies and religious stuffs, and it's all weird, as Dante said, I apologize for just pulling that. And we'll try to be more careful going forwards. There are times for levity and there are times for seriousness. I believe that's all.
Yeah. And I do apologize. I sometimes forget that some of you are incredibly young. And so I act more my physical age than my mental age. I must remind myself that some of you are less than 50 years old.
Let's just fucking get it out of there then. I'm gonna be 15 this summer. 15, not 50. I am learning. It's going slow. I'm a fucking baby. Just saying.
So perhaps you should listen to your elders rather than bumbling forth.
I'm trying, but at the same time,
it's
unlearning
understandable.
terrible behavior is hard.
That is true. When I was 25, I made a mistake that cost many people their lives. So I get it.
We've all seen struggle. We've all made mistakes. We all learn from the mistakes. But that's the thing. You got to learn from the mistakes. And you will.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that's not... well, you'll just learn. That's the thing. You will learn the lesson.
And if you ever do need help, especially with Kindred Society as well as their history, I'm more than happy to provide lessons.
I do actually, and I've been talking to Rowan about reading, of all things.
Would reading be helpful, or would you rather
I don't know. I'm
a
not very good
PowerPoint?
at reading. I would much rather... Actually, a PowerPoint is great.
Sure.
If you have time for that, sit me down and teach me things.
Oh, don't you worry. I always have time to make a PowerPoint.
Oh, good.
Looks directly at Einar. This is how I make a PowerPoint in Philadelphia.
Okay,
I will
so we're
fucking
gonna make a
shake
solo
you.
session about this. I feel it.
Yes, correct.
Cyrene just looks over at Lenka. You activated his trap. You realize that. Now he's going to be running through the chantry, screaming about PowerPoints, pulling
No,
all
you've
the books out of the
activated.
shelves and getting them all wonky again.
You've
Doesn't seem
activated
like a
Nico's trap
problem.
card.
Yeah, we can't put Nico in a box. That's the problem here.
But yes, I'll greatly provide you as well as anyone else that would like to learn more about Kindred Society as a whole, especially Court.
Yes.
Because I do believe that we might be having our first Elysium soon, and I don't know if all of you
Finnegan
have been
audibly
to an Elysium.
groaned.
I'm going to teach all of you how to act at an Elysium then, because it looks like some of you might need some information dumped on you.
I can save you some trouble. I'll just keep my mouth shut best I can and stand
Well,
in the corner and not do anything or attract any attention because I don't want to talk to any of the mucky mucks.
That is
Sorry,
unfortunate
can
for
we just
you.
super glue my mouth shut and
That is unfortunate because the point of Elysium is to talk to other people, and so, especially when we're Ancilla, people are going to come up
And
to
we're
us and talk.
And also,
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of people's first chance at the prince's hand-picked coterie. So
Oh,
they're going to be seeking you
don't
out.
say it like that. Oh.
Hey,
Oh,
it's the
sorry.
truth.
How do you want me to put it? They're going to want to talk to the newest deputy in the room who happens to be one of the prince's hand-picked bodyguards.
I was about to say, you're
Or
part of this whether
they
you
can
like it or
add-
not, so you kind of just got to get used to it, love.
Ugh,
I
trying.
think that Ancilla, I think it would be of benefit if I helped all of the Ancilla learn how to not only conduct themselves, but maybe fake it till they make it, I suppose, in an Elysium.
Yes.
All right.
I am nearly 200 years
Acting.
old, and I've spent most of it in everything but going to Elysium. So,
I've been
Zeros.
to a few Elysiums.
And you will go to plenty more. I can guarantee you that, especially as deputy to the sheriff. Luke, no! Luke grabs Luke. No! No. Grabs Luke by scruff. I gotta suffer, you gotta suffer too, buddy.
I'm going to the circus. Maybe go to Elysium if the circus takes me. Aha!
Right away.
I'm running away to the circus.
At least it
Cyrene
gives me a
was-
chance to look good.
Plot twist, all of the Ancilla run away
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
circus so they don't have to go to Elysium.
Zero just left at the entrance to
Exactly.
Elysium, and he's like, guys?
I'm here
Guys?
for it. I'm here for it.
audible.
Cyrene's going to sigh and put on like the coterie whiteboard Elysium lessons to be scheduled with Zero at your convenience. And then right in the middle, Ben Franklin, and underline it. To get it
Yeah,
back
the
on
more
point.
important thing, Ben Franklin. So I think what might be a benefit with Ben Franklin is I should get with this Miss Love that the prince talks about and see if maybe there is any locations that maybe we can all check out when it comes to Ben Franklin. Finnegan has quite the nose for tracking down an individual.
Hey, I know Dante's pretty good out in the field too. We can go and search. I just need kind of locations. If we can get some kind of maybe security footage of the outside of the Ben Franklin house and see if we can find when a bunch of robed, hooded figures carried a dead corpse out into a van. We can track where they went.
The problem.
I don't think should be a problem getting the footage.
No. When did the vision happen? How long has the body been gone?
That's,
This could be hundreds of years.
Yeah,
That's
that's
very
the
true.
issue.
that's very true. I
That's why,
suppose.
that's why I want to look through my memory to see if there's any places of importance or central meeting spots that have occurred multiple times for maybe to hand the list over to Finnegan and Dante to go check out.
Go back down in spirits, touch that coffin to see who else opened it recently.
I was
Yeah,
just gonna
I can-
answer. Go ahead.
Oh no, you first, Dante. Then I'll say my
Mine
idea.
was out of character. Go ahead.
Cyrene will gesture. I can help you, Zero. We can look at records, historical records, occult records, things like that. Maybe pin something down with some research and looks over at Luke. We did pretty good the last time we tag team, getting memories out of something if you wanted to go back down.
If we want, actually now, I'm not sure if this will help because it won't be my memories that we remember. Luke will probably get these stories etched in on him. If we want Lanka, Finn, and Dante to hold me down while you guys just yank some memories out of my head to see if we can find some locations, I don't mind doing that because we did it before and it worked. And we have 3 incredibly strong people here that can hold me down if something goes bad. We are in a safe space.
Hold them down till the boy starts shaking.
I will start shaking as soon as I'm held down because these are 3 incredibly burly individuals and I am but a green bean noodle.
I
So
think back to the voice in my head of Sifra of with weird magics, just don't. And I
Okay.
if that's what we want to try, because we could.
Yes, Irene.
Can I do, while they're talking about what to do here, an intelligence and occult or resolve occult to see if I can't determine more about this vision? If there's any time indicators or like watch pieces or something that have, 1876.
I will.
Are there timestamps?
I will say, if you wish to walk back through the memory of this vision, I would like you to make a wits and intelligence. I will allow you to add 2 audacity die.
for the sheer audacity of it all.
That does not
right.
bode well.
Now this goes on just real quick. Finn will kind of just sidle up next to Lenka and just in a kind of hushed tone just be like, "Oi, I'm also bad at talking, so I understand. And I don't envy your position. You're doing your best. You're doing all right. Okay? No one's upset with you."
Didn't sound like that before.
Well, when you get told that you were the cause of something, it can be kind of upsetting. And so, just wanted to let you know. There's no animosity. Just wanting everyone to be better, myself included. And just kind of nods and takes a side step away.
Can I also help Cyrene? I don't know how. I also have premonition.
No.
No? Great. Okay, cool.
Six successes do it, or do I need to use a willpower?
6 will do it.
Okay.
There is there are things about this vision that lead you to believe that this was some time ago. the room that you were in, the crypt, as it were, seems the stone walls are lighter in color. There doesn't seem to be as much dust or detritus scattered around the room as there was when you had entered. There is nothing to indicate when this thing occurred, but there is enough there to indicate that it has been some time since this occurred. We're not talking about a year, 2 years, 10 years. This could possibly be 50 or more years ago.
Gotcha. So Sarian just kind of does the zoom and then zoom back in of disassociation. So kind of looking back on that vision, like there wasn't all that much dust. Like, yeah, there was dust and everything, but it was less dust and like wasn't as disturbed. But the problem is that amount, we're looking like 50 or more years past. So security cameras probably not gonna be so helpful.
Likely tracking them down is going to be a bit hard with any kind of evidence being erased over time.
Well,
We'll have to figure it out. I like the challenge.
You said that there were regalia that they were wearing, or robes, perhaps footwear. Maybe
I'm
those could give us a ballpark of time.
I if the robes, if I'm able to see if maybe I had a set of those robes, we might be able to at least place a brief timeline down.
Would you like to try using some kind of auspex?
Me or
Yes.
anyone? Yeah.
Anyone who might have, the ability to see into the past, present, or future.
I have premonition, and also I have 3 burly kindred who will hold me down. So
Finnegan slowly pulls out a tarot card
And
deck that was
Sari
given
can
him by
act as
Seafall
an
and then puts it away.
anchor and guide.
Give
All
me
right.
1 second before I have you roll anything. I want to.
Okay.
So we're doing this. We're holding him down.
I mean, it's less you're holding me down and more of Zero's hugging you, and you're making sure he doesn't accidentally stab you.
Right.
He's like, please, I'd like to be held
I mean,
when I'm getting fucked.
So, premonition will not allow you to see into the past.
No.
That is not how that power works. However, things like I
got
would
spirits,
argue
touch,
that
and clairvoyance.
does anyone have share the senses?
Oh no! Oh!
Because I
Are you gonna
could
have him hitchhike me?
he could potentially hitchhike while you dive back into that vision. It is dangerous.
Let's do this. Look, we're Tremere, and he's a Goratrix Tremere. Of course, he's gonna do this.
Well, here we go, losing to Tremere.
No.
Is it a good idea
If
to do these things if we don't have another one here to help? that's proficient in what they're doing?
Isn't there anyone in your house of all you nerds that can do this?
So, before, I'm not saying no. I'm saying, but if we go to the Chantry, Chantry's got a lot of wards and things that are going to make this easier, along with
Or harder.
or harder, along with an Islington who's done things like this.
See, there we go. You have someone.
I was thinking because Luke has helped in the past.
Yes, I can read items. Can read the memories in items. Neither of you are an item.
God.
Yes, Luke pulled the memories out of your journal. He did
Yeah.
not pull them out of you.
Here's the thing. Hair holds memory. And
Now, I
technically,
don't know about that.
it's a dead thing.
That's
and it's an
real
object.
grasping at straws.
I will break my wrist in reaching.
You're going to break all of our wrists in reaching.
You say hair holds memory, but your body resets every night when you go to sleep. So it doesn't hold memory unless they happen while you were alive.
That's what I'm saying. I think this happened
Maybe.
while he was alive. Yeah, that's why he's like, maybe it happened while I was alive.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
But also, this is not memory. We're trying to see about the vision, so you can see these robes, so that you can then make the memory check, which is not something I think Luke can help at all.
Yeah.
So I think we wait for the person who can unlock your memories.
I think that's safer.
Yeah.
The question I would have about going to the Chantry and involving other people is, how much of this information are you giving to your clan as a whole?
That's
moment,
my other.
Us and the prince know about this.
Yeah, I do not know if even the prince would want to tell the regent about this.
Right.
It is.
As we are his coterie. Those.
Yeah.
And the regent doesn't like me. And if I offer up anything, he will say no.
I don't think it's that Islington doesn't like you. I think he is not the happiest with some of your choices you made.
No, he definitely does not like me.
Does Islington like anyone?
Yes.
Does he know your whole past?
For the most part. He doesn't know the intricacies of it.
Even the parts that we discovered from the journal?
A bit of it, just not in detail.
Because opening up your memories and thoughts to him are going to give him all of that as well, possibly.
Yeah. That is also the issue there, is that I'm already from a descendant line that he's not the biggest fan of, and if he sees any of that, he could just kill me right then and there. And I prefer being, alive.
Hang on. Serene has an idea. And kind of thinks, hang on. There was the room, right? Where Ben's stuff was and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bunch of books in there. Maybe they got a uniform guide, and I can say, hey, that's what that looks like.
Ooh. But what, they came out that way, right?
Uh-huh.
This stuff would then contain the memories of them passing through.
I mean, that would give Luke
Potentially
the information. The problem is I need to see them. And I don't have anything that could do that, because I can find insight.
I would say if you have the knowledge of will workers and possibly this organization, I would imagine that your Chantry or your clan has some more information about other mages that makes sense for you to have. Don't you check your library for that information, and then you can go, hey, Cyrene, did you see this?
That's the word I was waiting for.
Yes.
Library.
Yes.
It's not just the Chantry that has a library.
Oh, that is true. We could go to the other kindred library.
Yes. I didn't know which would have more information on mages. If we were looking strictly into kindred things, I know the Carmelia Nielsen. If we were looking into Fey things, my own library.
I
But
would think that this might be Mithraean things, and I think that the other library might also have information on it then, because, Prince being a Mithraean and all that, he might want to keep a couple of books around.
yeah, we're at a weird intersectionality of occult things that makes choosing the library difficult, I guess.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to go to the library and at least try.
Never hurts
The
to
w-
start there, and Cass can give you and me back a ride to the chantry if it don't got anything for us.
Yeah. The worst that can happen is we don't find anything. And I dare say that is a very non-threatening worst possibility.
Now, while it is true that Carmelita Nielsen is usually very kindred focused, it wouldn't hurt to look through the city library and see what is available before we go involving the chantry.
Yeah.
Yes, Dante.
Dante has influence with city officials, specifically the historical societies. Would that be an avenue?
It could, considering the Philadelphia Historical Society was at one point run by the former prince of the city. It stands to reason that when John absorbed all of her holdings, that there might be something available to the Ancilla that would not necessarily be available to the city at large.
Does Dante say
Plus,
this out loud?
Cyrene. Oh, go ahead.
I would mention, just kind of trying to get confirmation before I went that route. I do have some connections that could look into the historical societies of the city, outside of perhaps libraries, or with tie in with the libraries to kind of counter or confer with, if you would like for me to try. At least it would narrow the field, so to speak.
I also
No.
have a lawyer that works in that building we just came from for John, who could look up some legal documents about certain buildings
Well,
and
do we want
newspaper clippings and whatever information we can find we need.
Well, Lenka and Dante, if we ask Mr. Carey to drive us all to the library, if you want to give your contacts a call,
Sure.
so that way when we arrive at the library, we can narrow down what we're looking for. Maybe, Cyrene, if you want to give Rowan a call with my phone to let him know that we're coming.
I can
Why your
also
phone
call him with
specifically?
mine. But
Why can't
sure.
you just call him with your own phone?
Because I gave her my phone. I gave them my phone.
Why?
Why?
Holds
In
up the
case I
two
black
phones.
out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't want to accidentally tell Jacob what we found. So I gave my phone to Cyrene.
all right.
Because I'm the adult and just calls Rowan on her phone and scoots off
You're
to the side.
Do you call the number for the library or do you call Rowan specifically?
Probably the library one, because we are going to be going to both parts of the library. So giving him a heads up of where we're going to be in the library is better than bugging him on the Haven phone.
Philadelphia Public Library, Special Collections. How can I help you?
Hey, this is Professor Jameson. Just wanted to let you know I'm bringing a group of students over, and we're going to be doing some research in both parts of the library, just the regular and special collections. So just want to give you a heads up.
Oh, absolutely, Professor Jameson. I'll make sure I clear out a study room for you.
Perfect. Thanks, bud.
The phone call ends, and you guys are free to head down to the library.
So what exactly do I need to ask my friend to look up?
That depends. What angle of attack are you looking for? Are you looking for potential companies that have operated in Philadelphia? Are you looking for organizations? Like, what is the
Like I was asking the group what they think.
Then please proceed.
I
So you're asking the group like what they think your angle of attack should be. Solid.
Well,
Link is learning.
Any type of property that has any kind of reservation or renovation, would not only have to meet certain historical parameters with the city, it would need record of contractors. So perhaps that could give us.
So renovations in historical buildings specifically.
Yeah, like if they're trying to restore or upkeep or repair age of a building and do it within the scope of historical preservation.
The problem is his Zero has a contact directly that could tell him this information. I just can't use him because he's a touchstone, and I don't want the Coterie to know about him. Fuck.
I mean, that sounds like a Zero problem.
That is a Zero problem. That he is suffering silently.
Thing is, you don't have to tell us he's your touchstone.
That
Hey,
is true.
like I invited people into my touchstone.
Hold on. Good for them.
Yeah.
These are fun statements you get to make when your storytellers are fun and let you do weird things.
You've all been inside of my touchstone. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's sidetracked. Zero just kind of looks around. I know of an individual at the University of Pennsylvania. He's one of my professors. And I've asked him in the past about information in regards to, mythology and stuff, because as a mythology major at the University of Pennsylvania, I can do that fun stuff. And he seems to know a decent about Mithras, decent amount about Mithras. So maybe if I also give him a call, see if maybe we can narrow our search to get you the information that you need, as well as Dante the information that he needs.
Sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna just call my contact real quick because she's probably not working tonight, and I just want to know that she's available and not doing other things or people. So Linga steps aside and makes a call to Bambi.
Phone rings once, rings twice. Hey, boss, what's up?
What are you doing?
Just sitting at home, eating some ice cream, watching a movie.
Mm-hmm. Any guests?
Not tonight, no.
Where's he at?
Said something about having to go see his mom.
His mom.
Yeah, he said he had to go see Mama.
Oh. Oh, ew. Okay. Anyway. I thought you meant the other mom, and I got nervous. Anyway. I might call you a little later. I need some research from you, something about historical buildings and stuff. Just wanted to make sure that you're available.
Oh, yeah, I've got nothing going on tonight.
Great. That's it.
Okay. I'll stay by the phone then.
Thank you, sweetheart. Hangs up. And goes back to the people, to the coder.
I don't know if I'm chill enough with my professor to just give him a call.
Late at night.
Late at night.
Yeah, so Zero
I don't know.
Zero's just going to take his phone back from Cyrene real quick.
Sounds like the
Pull
beginning
up,
of a Lifetime movie.
pull up his student email, and just real quick send an email that says, "Hey, Professor, remember the conversation we had a little bit ago? I'm still doing some research. Do you know any information about um, Mithraean influence in early Philadelphia?
Okay.
Specifically in regards to building or clothing." And then he is going to send and shoot the email. Um,
All right. It may take a bit to get a response, but because it is fairly late at night,
who knows? Maybe he's one of those professors that is really chill and cool that answers his students late at night.
that's certainly an assumption one could make. But anyway, while we are still at the Coterie Haven, is there anything else anyone would like to do at the Haven? I see those fingers, Cyrene.
Do it.
Oh, Finn first. Well, no, Tristan unmuted first, so I'm going to let him go, and then I'll do my bad idea.
Go right ahead, Libby.
While everybody's like off calling their people, can Cyrene just kind of cross-leg in a chair and do clairvoyance on the Coterie Haven to make sure we haven't had any visitors?
You want to do clairvoyance on the Haven? Okay.
Just to make sure it's been the normal visitors. If you want, I have it pulled up to let you know how it works.
Yeah. Make sure
All
it's
right,
just
give
the
me a
normal
second.
weirdos, not any new weirdos.
Yep. Why don't you go ahead?
Because it's a power. No, we're not going to blood surge on this. Is the difficulty 3 because it's a haven I know, or
Let me look at something.
no worries.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to say that the difficulty is 3 because this is a known place to you.
Okay. Gotcha. And we're still building the sheet, so I can't add the haven into my pool at this time. But that's fine. Okay. There it is, clairvoyance. May I go crit fishing?
You can if you want.
Okay. That still leaves me with 5 willpower. Okay. 5 successes, so success of 2.
Well, I mean, it's a margin of 2, but
yeah.
So you beat the difficulty. There have been no extra comings and goings besides Coterie, Alicia, Mr. Carey, and Miss Wayne.
Okay. So our gargoyle friend hasn't been back. Okay.
Nope, not since the message has been left.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see. Okay. So I would get one question per margin. So that was my first. So the second, given what do you think, guys? Local gossip or anything major happening in the area? Which would you think is more?
Yeah, number 2.
Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
anything
anything
major
major.
happen in the area.
Yeah.
Anything major happening in the area? A clarifying question for you, Cyrene.
Mhm.
Anything major in general, or anything major involving the Coterie?
I will say, given right now the quest is to find more information about Ben Franklin, it would be kind of anything major related to that, like kind of vans doing weird construction around the building, things of that nature. Major type deal. Kind of like setting up spy shop.
You would not be aware of any vans,
Okay.
but shortly before you returned to the Haven, there was a unremarkable sedan that had pulled up shortly before you left, or shortly after you left the Haven, and left as you were pulling back up.
Okay. Interesting. So she'll just kind of open her eye like this. Huh. That's new. All right. Kind of get up. Mr. Gary? Kind of peek ahead around the
Yes.
corner. Hey, buildings like this got security systems, right?
Oh, well, they try to keep Powell House as historically accurate as possible, but we do have a couple of cameras.
Okay. If you have any face in the street around the time we left, there was a sedan parked out nearby. If you could just get a picture of it for us, that we'd be really grateful.
And Mr. Carey pulls out a laptop, opens it up, logs into the security system, and you would clearly see a sedan pull up, and you would see several flashes from inside the sedan.
Well, ain't that special?
Link is also looking over at the computer. Takes out her phone, makes a call to Bambi again.
Yeah, boss.
Hi, can you look up this number plate for me, please? Thank you. Are you able to do that?
I don't have access to those systems,
Could you please
but
find someone who has access to those kind of systems, please? Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And the call just clicks off.
Yeah.
But we are
So-
going to go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when all of the discussion turned to library, information, books, historical, everything, Finnegan just glazed over for like 5 minutes and then just went outside on the front porch and just sat with Tay, kind of just trying to get his thoughts in order with everything that's happened, especially with the circus reappearing, and trying not to leave everyone and go deal with that.
And I mean, those texts with Sifra have been.
Yeah, just constantly on his phone texting Sifra. He should be texting Rowan too, but he's just worried.
It's a fair assumption that if you're having a conversation with Sifra, that Rowan's going to find out sooner rather than later.
That's fair.
It's almost the same idea as talking to Alicia, knowing that John's going to
John
hear.
will know. Yep.
pretty much whatever it is you talk to Alicia about.
Mhm.
But
And that's it. He was just stepping outside. Was maybe going to see about finding the weeping angel, but doesn't seem like it's around.
it is not. The plinth does stand empty, but I think here is a really good spot to call it for the evening, because we do have some of our players that have time constraints, and we are going to chalk this up to private sessions in between our coterie sessions. To see what
Woo.
all folks can find. I wish to thank you all so very much for joining us again, and welcome back to season 2 of Philly by Night. I cannot wait to see what y'all get into. And for now, we are going to go around the table. Our players are going to do the usual, introduce themselves, tell us who you are, where we can find you, and we're going to start things off with. You know what? We're going to get spicy tonight. We're going to start things off with Mr. Omadra. Who are you, and where can we find you?
I'm Tristan Kit Kat, and now that the Tiki Talk is gone, there's not really anywhere that you can find me. So if you want to find me, ask me, and I can say hi and talk with you. I don't know.
We'll move on to our resident oracle.
Hi, I'm Fennec Lee Wilder. I play Cyrene Leclerc, the court oracle who's collecting titles like Pokemon cards. On the social medias that still exist, you can find me at the Fennec Wolf or that Fennec Wolf, and around on our Discord doing moderator stuff.
Moving along to our humble gearhead. Let's see what I did there.
I appreciate
Nick
it.
would be proud. Golf claps.
Dad joke for the dad character. Yeah, as far as socials go, I am the Humble Spark on Discord, Chemical Rabbit on itch.io and Drive-Thru, and that's about it for socials.
We'll move along to our friendly neighborhood Magar.
So I am Dapper Zombie everywhere that exists. YouTube is coming shortly, where we'll be seeing stuff from my own games, plus a bunch of solo TTRPG stuff probably. But I've got a shop where I put up things that make me laugh and hopefully make other people laugh. And I'm on Redbubble, or I'm on Blue Sky spouting nonsense, usually about vampire stuff.
Moving along to our newly appointed deputy.
You can find me BadluckJinx83 wherever you want. I'm still on TikTok because I'm in Europe.
God's favorite.
And
Yeah.
lastly, but not leastly, everyone's favorite caitiff.
Hi, my name is Nico, and I play Hawk, also known as Zero, or Zero, also known as Hawk, depending on the day and depending on the circumstance. And I had received word in the middle of our session that TikTok is technically back up for America, but don't trust it. I don't trust it because it's mighty sus. But if you do want to find me on TikTok, you can find me at Touch of Goblin. And that is the only location that you can find me in social media at this current present time.
And as always, I am your storyteller, Einar. You can find me at instarsorbit.bsky.social. I do still have a TikTok that might be floating around somewhere out there in the ether at Einar_TTRPG. And you can find me at the same handle on Discord. Thank you all so very much for joining us for another Ancilla stream. Have a wonderful day, and remember, just because we play monsters doesn't mean we cannot be the light in somebody's world. Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.